So first of all, it comes with AV out, cartridge compatibility, it comes with a built-in battery, and okay, USB enabled, what that's supposed to be. So 2.8-inch color LCD display, and yep, it comes also with a very nice looking package. And yeah, and 2.8-inch, that is not a big overall, let's say LCD display. And yeah, is this thing still worth picking up? I've paid around like 16-ish euro for it, and that was quite expensive, but still, come on, the purpose review, I just needed to check it out. So my first impression of the device, I quickly later tested it out, and yeah, it's a very compact device, so that's very positive. And the D-pad is also a very interesting one, because this feels so strange. So in the past we did test it out, a couple of, let's say the Sega Genesis, Nomad things, but most of them were pretty bad. And that is absolutely what's going on over here. It's going to be in hit or miss with these things. 6-button configuration, so that's very convenient if you want to play some Street Fighter. Unfortunate, I already noticed with the D-pad and this very strange, let's say, smooshy feel. This plays absolutely horrible for games like Street Fighter. Volume control over here at the bottom. There is no strap or whatsoever, maybe in the box. The USB, just the old school mini, an LED indication, and then we're having the on-off switch over here. But unfortunate, the battery inside is completely dead, and we're having a switch over here. Next up, yeah, we're having the cartridge slot. Feels kind of flimsy, not to the point that it's going to be breaking down. And we're having 2 headphone jacks, one for the AV out, and the other one is going to be for the earphones. So it's kind of cool that they also implemented this. Later on, we're going to be in tear down to see what are we getting. But the first thing we need to do is check out what's more inside of the box. And we need to get ourselves a charger, because unfortunate, the battery is dead, so we need to use an external power source. In here, we're finding the cable, a mini USB. We're having the AV out cable that we're going to check out. And this is the thing that it's kind of cool that the previous owner did save it up. So this is actually a front of it. So, oh man, look at this. Are there homebrew games on this device? I hope not, because most of them are really bad. But at the same time, I also wanted to see what can we actually play and what is compatible with this. Yep, I've been trying out a couple of items and Street Fighter 2 didn't boot up. I have no idea why, it's kind of weird, but that's what happened. We have the Xenocrisis, it's a new game, but also we're having some weird games like the ones you can find on AliExpress with the cheap shells like the Street Fighter 2 in, like the Rate of Rage, the combination cartridges like Sonic and Knuckles, and we're going to be slapping on the Sonic 3. So let's see if this is going to be working and how is the compatibility. And of course the flash card, because if you're going to be combining this, oh yeah, it's the ultimate naughty portable device. But how about, like I say, putting the cartridges in, because that can also be a problem. You need to wiggle around to get them out. So this is the fake cartridge. Well, I must say it fits in very nicely. You can pull them out fairly easy. This is the original game. Let's check out if you're going to be putting it in. Oh, it clicks in very nicely. And yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm very surprised, because this is one of those common problems we have seen with, let's say, these bootleg Sega things that you can pick up from AliExpress or other companies. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to be using a power bank. Let's check out if we're going to be shutting down the lights or a couple of them in the studio. So it seems to be that it is charging or some kind, doesn't matter. We have an external battery this way. Make it a kind of a portable situation going on. The only unfortunate thing is when you're looking at the display itself, there are some markings, and I don't know if the camera is going to be picking this up. So the display is not in perfect condition, but that is something we can expect of after all of those years. But there are a lot of, let's say, built-in games. They also use the Fire Core, and the Fire Core has been seen with, let's say, the game system that we've tested out, and a lot of, let's say, different ones. But also when I look, when this thing is not an IPS panel, the overall quality of the display is quite decent. But we're having so much weird stuff. Dual Magic, yep, and all kinds of built-in weird shenanigans. That audio. I must say, I give him some kudos, because it goes quite loud. That's something you don't see very often with these things. And pressing the menu button will reset the system itself. And here we're having all kinds of different games. So let's choose that. Yeah, that's snowboarding. Is it a snowboarding game? Okay, the music's kind of funny. Different kind of players, just changing the colors. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Oh boy, this looks really bad. What is going on this thing? Look at this. Okay, there we go. There we go. No, completely messed it up. Messed it up. I completely messed up this game. Yep, I finally hit it. What? U-turn? Wait, why? Oh boy, this is really bad. So let's get into the freaking like games itself, because this is horrible. Let's see, which game shall we pick? I think I'm going to be starting off with the Street Fighter game. Okay, the first thing I've noticed when putting in the Street Fighter game, it didn't want to boot up at all. Now we can just see how the display has some markings, but that's actually what's going to be happening. It's just giving me a red screen. I've been switching with the switch over here to see if this is going to be helping out, but nope, this thing is not compatible with Street Fighter. I did clean it, it's no weird. But later on I just wanted to see if we can even combine it. So let's put in Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's boot up this thing. Let's see if the switch does anything. There we go. Let's listen to the music itself. Okay, it sounds completely messed up. Let's give this thing a reboot. Let's see if it's going to be turbo mode, so this switch doesn't do anything. Oh man, this is really bad. Woohoo! Turbo mode. Sonic on turbo mode. Do, 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 do. Oh man. Yeah, that's completely messed up. That's one thing to be sure. But let's see if we can even, let's say, play some games and how does it control. So far, the sound effects of the rings are correct, but it sounds all so messed up. For Sonic we can actually play this, so that's not a problem. Okay, let's get into the bonus stage. That's one of those better tests, because I have the three-dimensional thing going on. It's going to be like looking great, so it seems to be working fine. I can actually play the bonus stage. The D-pad is not bad for this kind of game. Oh, bad at audio. Oh, this is absolutely horrible. But let's see what happens if you're going to be booting up the dual cartridge situation. So this first boot is going to be Sonic and Knuckles. You can just see it works fine. So let's open it up. Let's plug this bad boy in. And let's check out what happens over here. So boot up the Sega. But it doesn't show the second game. And I've been cleaning this up, but it doesn't help. This is just not working at all. So that is one of the things that we have with these older devices, but also with newer devices from China, that we don't have the compatibility of having these games. So let's plug in the next game and let's check out what happens now. Okay, so what I've noticed when it comes to the particular game, the audio speed is correct now. So the switch itself doesn't do anything whatsoever. So let's get into it. Okay. Navigation is okay. Seems to be I can do all of my moves. The handheld is a little bit too small for my hands, because I need to put them in a weird position to at least like have a good grip. But the overall gameplay experience where the audio is pretty horrible, I must say the display looks kind of nice for a 10-year plus like device. But somehow this weird, let's say, custom game seems to be working just fine. And with many of, let's say, the clone systems and Firecore situation, the virtual racing doesn't do anything. At first I was thinking, hey, this thing is broken. Even got myself like the Japan region, just to check out, have different regions so I can check out different, like say, devices and cartridges. But nope, it doesn't work. Same like with the multi-cartridge. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, so next up I wanted to check out if this thing is compatible with the EverDrive. But so far, no good luck. And it's kind of interesting, because normally this does work with this device. I do hear something going on. Looks like something is happening. But the other thing we can do, pull this thing out, put another version in. Let's see if this has a positive effect. If this seems to be working. Okay. Oh! Okay. Something works, or at least something is happening, but yeah, no, this is absolutely annoying. So none of the flashcards seem to be working. Boo-hoo! And the final test is going to be, of course, the multi-game card. Okay, so what's kind of funny, when I'm touching actually the D-pad, you can just see something moving in the display itself. Oh boy, it's really bad. But okay, so we're having over here Bare Knuckles number 3. So let's see, booting up, and oh no, no! I have seen this before. So it will boot up actually the menu itself, but it doesn't have the option to boot up the games. Man, what a disappointment. But okay, so let's connect this thing to an old school CRT. And when it comes to, let's say, the gameplay and overall, I think it's a very cool feature and it looks okay. You can just see that the audio and visual quality is not perfect. If you're going to be hooking up an original Genesis or Mega Drive, it's going to be looking so much better. But I'm quite surprised by this and how actually good it is. But yeah, it's a cool feature with, let's say, the newer generation of devices have HDMI capabilities. It's just an extra fun novelty. What you need to be careful with if you're going to be touching the cable itself or wiggling around, it can give some interference, but so far so good. Yeah,